Guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Tuesday. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Tuesday morning, guys. I want to talk to you guys about 6 things that the enemy is using or will attempt to use to get you so distracted right now. See, here's the thing, right? Many of you, God is literally ushering your blessings and your promises in, even if you don't physically see it. God is moving. You have to feel it in the spiritual realm. God is moving. So with that being said, the enemy is also moving. So you got to be so tapped in to realize what he's doing and how to bind that thing up and rebuke it on sight, because we ain't got time. Point blank period. Number 1, the enemy will start using people to sow discord about the very people that God has sent into your life that you will need in due season or to help usher you in. These can look like destiny helpers, right? Destiny helpers can be just wise counsel, people who God may have to plant certain seeds. You're going to need certain seeds, financial seeds, things like that to get certain things done. This can look like just whatever, destiny helpers. These are the people, these are your soul tribe. These are the people that you know God brought these people into your life supernaturally for one way or another. But the enemy have tried to plant seeds of discords in your mind about the person prior, and he realized that your spirit was too connected to allow that seed to develop. So when he first attempted to drop something in your spirit, you recognize it because your spirit told you these people are pure. Okay, so he left you alone. But now he's coming back. Why is he coming back now? Because again, promises are being ushered in. So now he will use people. He will use people to message you, to say something. And this can be directly or indirectly or just very strategic. He's allowing people to say things to you, words to get into your spirit to make you question the very individuals that you will need and that God will use to usher you into destiny. Be very, very careful about what are you allowing to get into your spirit. Stop allowing all kind of people to speak into your life. And number 2, when people start falling off, now these are people who at some point along the way you picked up, right? During this journey or even just recently. Well, people will start to fall off with no explanation. And you don't need one, but I'm trying to make a point here. He will try to get you entangled. Your mind is entangled trying to figure out, well, God, I don't understand. Did I say something to offend them? I don't understand. I thought you said this person was maybe a part of destiny, or I would need them, to help such and such. So these people are falling off, right? Or a person has fallen off, which is absolutely fine because one monkey don't stop no show, point blank period. But the point is, the enemy will try to play in your mind and distract you by having your mind toil on, what did I do? Did I say something? What happened? Listen, anybody that is in your life to do destiny with, they can't fall off. They couldn't fall off if they wanted to. Not if they're connected. They're going to be convicted so bad to get back. So when people are starting to just drop off and you don't know why, let them go. Don't even try to reach out. Let them go. It is a trick from the enemy. Number 3, controlling spirits. Controlling spirits. Well, remember now, you're already in this posture where God have you so silent, right? This is just you and God. This is a pack, right? You and God. You're ushering. God is ushering this thing in. So because you're so, one of you guys said this. I think it was Twiddles, who said you're so locked into the promise that you're so guarded that nobody can get up in there, and that's the way it needs to be. So with that being said, the enemy can't figure you out now because see, when you're in that process and you don't know what God is doing and you're in the wilderness, you're so lost. You're just speaking just to speak. Lord, I don't know what you're doing. So you're speaking everything and the enemy can hear you. But now you're at this posture where God is conditioning you to close your mouth. God is conditioning you to stop asking people certain things. God is conditioning you to told you, don't you open your mouth about certain things I'm going to show you. I don't care who it is. This is a pact between you and me. And many reasons, that's for many reasons. But again, sometimes you're speaking things in general and the enemy is getting the full insight that God is trying to give you. And then you wonder why you're tied up in warfare in the wilderness even longer, because this thing is like a sealed pack. So because the enemy is now confused because he can't get it from you, he's now using people to come and ask you questions. He's now using people to draw up certain seeds, is trying to attempt to get you to speak about the very thing that God has told you to close your mouth and keep your mouth closed about. So these are controlling spirits and people who's trying to pry are trying to get you to think a certain way or listen, you got to be so focused. You got to think for yourself. The world is screwed up because people don't think for themselves. They're followers. You are a leader. You go based on what your spirit says, not what a person says, period. And then the people who are speaking, these people not even... Be aware of controlling spirits. Anybody that comes in your life who is speaking in contrast of what your spirit is telling you, rebuke them on sight. On sight. Don't even respond, because you got to be tunnel vision. Number 4, distractions about foolishness. These are people, places, and things. Just if it's not about the promise, it's not important. Now, last year, you may have had time to just address foolishness or just, just drama. Listen, you can't do that right now, honey. If it's not about the promise, you ain't got time. Period. So be very, very aware that when the enemy start using people to try to just... These can look like co-workers. These can look like your own kids, your own family, your own this, your own that. If it's not about the promise, it is a distraction. And you ain't got time. And what number am I on? 5 or 6? I think I'm on 6. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm on 6. I don't know. But the last one, if it's not, I will plug the 6th one in the comment section and I'll pin it. But the last one, I was talking to a great friend of mine about this yesterday. Something that she was going through, and the Holy Spirit allowed me to give it to her. Okay. Along this journey, right, God has started to bring you out of things, even if you didn't want to be brought out of these things, because it basically it shakes your foundation. Let's just say you lost a house, you've lost a marriage, you've lost this and this and that, right? Even though it was toxic, it was still your firm foundation. So when God starts to remove you out of things that are bondages and keeping you in bondages, even though you know it's for the best, it's still uncomfortable because it's your foundation and you don't know what God is doing next. So with that being said, when God starts to strip you of things that truly have you in bondage, like a car that may have you paying triple the amount because of the interest rate, or et cetera, or you may have lost a house because you would be in bondage and have to work 8 jobs to be able to afford it. These things are bondages. So when you start to lose certain things, you have this revelation like, okay, God, I hear you. It hurts, but now I get it now. I know why you've done it. Soon as you get settled with that mindset, the enemy is going to come right back around and try to put you in the very same bondage that God got you out of. So now God took you out of the bondage of working 8 jobs right? Where he really needs you for purpose calling, and he's going to bless you more on that end, right? He pulled you from that. He got you stationary now, where he's going to start giving you different directions on how to move, where he's taking you. But now here the enemy comes and puts something right back in your face, which is the same bondage. Now somebody's offering you or emailing you about a house that's available, and that house is the same scenario on what God just pulled you out of. So the enemy is trying to get you back into bondage. God pulled you out of the bondage, but the enemy wants you back in. He wants you back in because why? If you're in bondage, you can't hear what God needs. You can't be moving in purpose and calling because you're too busy working 8 jobs and stressing out every day on how you're going to pay for this thing. So be very, very aware that the things or the people that God has moved from your life, even if you didn't want it at the time, but you now know it had to happen, be very, very aware when these things and these people attempt to come back around. God didn't remove you out of bondage to lead you back into bondage. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.